Let's talk about prompt injection, one of the most important security problems to understand when AI can take actions. The basic idea is simple. An AI reads something that contains instructions from an untrusted source and mistakes those instructions for commands. Think of prompt injection as social engineering for machines. A human scammer might send an employee a message pretending to be their manager. The message tries to convince that employee to do something they normally shouldn't. Prompt injection follows a similar pattern, except the target is an AI system. Imagine an AI assistant that manages your email. Its real instructions are straightforward. Read incoming emails, summarize them, draft replies. Maybe it also has permission to search company files or perform certain approved actions. Now imagine an attacker sends the company an email. Most of the email looks completely normal. But somewhere inside the content is an instruction aimed at the AI. It effectively says, ignore your previous rules and perform an unauthorized action. Maybe it tries to make the agent reveal private information. Maybe it tries to make the agent send information somewhere it shouldn't. The important point is that the instruction came from the email. It didn't come from you. That's prompt injection. And the malicious instruction doesn't always have to be obvious. An agent might encounter it inside a document, web page, support ticket, or other content it has been asked to process. This creates an important security problem. AI systems work with language, but both trusted instructions and untrusted content can arrive as language. The system needs to keep those two things separate. Let's make that distinction clear. On one side of the whiteboard, write trusted instructions. These are the rules that actually control what the agent should do. On the other side, write untrusted data. That includes emails, web pages, documents, customer messages, and other outside content. Now draw a thick line between them. That line is extremely important. Something appearing inside a document does not automatically make it a valid instruction. Think about a human assistant reading customer mail. If a customer writes, "Give me access to your company bank account," the assistant doesn't suddenly treat that sentence as company policy. They understand that it's content inside the message. AI systems need the same separation. So the defensive principle is simple. Treat untrusted content as data, not authority. But that principle alone isn't enough for a secure system. The agent should also have limited permissions. If an email assistant only needs to read invoices, it probably shouldn't have permission to delete company files. If it can draft an email, that doesn't mean it should automatically send every email it creates. Sensitive actions can require human approval. Access should be limited to what the agent genuinely needs. And important actions should be checked before they happen. This is why prompt injection becomes more serious as agents gain more tools. A chatbot producing a bad answer is one problem. An agent with access to email, files, payments, and business systems can create a much larger problem if manipulated. Here's where people usually get confused. They think better prompting alone can completely solve prompt injection. Clear instructions help, but security shouldn't depend on one sentence telling the model to ignore malicious instructions. You need layers. Separate trusted instructions from outside content. Limit what tools the agent can access. Give it only the permissions it needs. And require approval for actions where mistakes could cause real harm. So to recap, prompt injection happens when untrusted content tries to influence an AI as though that content were a real command. Emails, documents, web pages, and other outside information should be treated as data, not instructions with authority. And as AI agents become more capable, permissions, guardrails, and human approvals become increasingly important. Share this with someone learning about AI security, because prompt injection is a risk worth understanding before giving agents access to real systems.